Okay, viewers, M7 Metal Works here, Chris McCoy. I got an anvil in the fire. It's just a small one. It's a 75-pound anvil. It had quite a few pretty heavy scars and chips that looked like people had ground on the sides of it, on the edges of the anvil. And so what I've done now is I've got it warm, I've heated it up pretty good, and I've welded it. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the anvil to relieve some of the stress of those welds and hopefully kind of shape those welds a little bit and maybe have a little less grinding, but also hopefully relax the steel so that I don't get any cracking and that kind of thing. This isn't hardening it. Hardening will come later once I've ground on it, but this is really just to hopefully get my welds a little bit better. There was a lot of damage. You might get on this other side, on my side here. You can see there's a lot of damage. That's just some tar from the cold. You see there was a lot of damage here and I had to build that up. Now all I'm doing is kind of relieving some of that tension. Hopefully getting those welds to solidify a little bit. And what I mean by solidify is to where they don't crack, more stable. There'll be a lot of grinding on this once I'm ready for that. But for now, I really just wanted to get it welded up, getting that horn, even though that horn's not quite as hot as the body of that anvil. I didn't quite have it in the fire. I'm going to hit the rest of this. Don't know how well the color shows up. I got a very, very dull red now. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back in the fire. Do you see my other go? Oh, there it is. I'm going to put it back in the fire, and then I'm just going to let it cool slowly so that it normalizes a little bit, and then I'll be able to grind on it a little bit better. And by normalizing it, I'll decrease my chances of having it crack, having those welds crack on me. And ultimately, that's what I want, is a successful weld, a successful repair. I'm not overly concerned because I didn't use a hardened rod on those welds. It's just a mild steel, but I essentially, for the most part, I welded on the edges. So I don't want a real hard steel on my edges anyways. It's how I it's how it got cracked in the first place, is being too brittle. So what I'll do is I will eventually grind on this, shape it up the way I want it shaped, and then I'll get it all to critical temperature so you'll have a nice red glow on that entire face, or most of the face. I won't be as concerned about the horn, obviously, and the heel. But once I get the body of that face to critical temperature where it no longer has magnetism, I'll quench it in a 55-gallon drum barrel with some soap and some salt in it, and try to get a good quench on it that way. That way I get some of that hardness back. I don't need it to be super, super hard, but I do want it to be fairly hard. So anyways, I'll try to record some of that as I do it as well. And